Welcome back to MLB the Show 20 Detroit Tigers franchise. I am your host, longtime listener. Drop a like, subscribe, and comment below. Before we get into action, I wanted to show you the May the 4th game where the Colorado Rockies used the force in the 8th, putting up 8 runs to overcome a 7-run deficit and take down the Tigers. Tough loss there. The bullpen just sucked down the stretch there. Jonathan Scope on the 10-day DL with an ACL sprain. Nothing too serious, but had to shuffle some things around in the lineup for the next week or two to make up for that. We go out to Comerica Park. It is the Tigers at 20-20, trying to stay relevant in the American League, playoff race in the early season. They take on the Twins. It would be Matthew Boyd on the hill. He has pitched well for the Tigers this year. Only 3 wins, but he's got the ERA down below 3 where you'd like to see it. And he has been a legitimate ace for these guys, at least to this point in the season. Starting things off for the Twins, it would be Luis Arias and a routine pop-up there to short, can of corn for Nico Goodrum. And Boyd is off and running. 2 batters later, it's Nelson Cruz swinging through a circle change down and away. Nice location there. No score as we head to the bottom of the bottom of the first. Kenta Maeda on the bump for the Twins. 4.43 ERA coming in. Whip not too bad, just 2 wins through 8 starts. He starts things off against Cameron Maybin, getting the go in center field today, giving Reyes a day off, who has not been swinging the bat well. And Maybin taking advantage as he gets a base hit up the middle there, and then later in the at-bat against Castro, he's off and running. Good jump there, and the Tigers have a runner in scoring position with nobody out. Castro hits a ball deep to right field. It would run out of steam, be caught right at the wall. Obviously deep enough for Maybin to tag. He's over to third with 1 away. Then it was Miguel Cabrera. Takes a fastball off the corner for ball 4, first and third. Lawrence Walker unable to connect with the slider on the outside corner there for the second out, strike 3. And then it was Elvis Vizcaíno hits one in the hole. Backhanded try by Gonzalez. He's unable to handle it. That would actually get registered as an error. So that would be an unearned run, and it is 1-0 Tigers. Then the next batter was Sheldon Nueze. He goes down on strikes to end the inning. On to the second. Matthew Boyd gets Mitch Garver chasing a changeup way off the plate there for the first out. Next batter was Max Kepler. He goes up the middle past the diving Nico Goodrum, and the Twins have their first base runner of the ball game with a single from Max Kepler. And then it was Eddie Rosario. He takes one back up the middle, another single, and it's first and second for the Twins. 2 pitches later, it's Josh Donaldson, hits a routine grounder to short. It would be a 6-4-3 Twin killing as the Tigers get 2 for the price of 1. In the Tigers' half of the second, things would start off with Bonifacio going down on strikes. 3rd strikeout of the game for Kenta Maeda, but the pitch count is getting up there already, 41 through this point. He would later get Austin Romine for his 4th strikeout, and then with 2 away, Nico Goodrum going to take advantage of the shift. Not exactly the best bunt, but the way the Twins were positioned, they have no play, and he's on with 2 down. Maybin would pop one up. That would end the threat in the second. We go to the top of the third, and it is still 1-0 Tigers. Matthew Boyd base hit up the middle past the diving Nico Goodrum again. Looked like a replay of the hit from last inning from Kepler, and it was Byron Buxton. Hits the ball in the hole, and if you see where the runner is when Goodrum fields this, thought he had a play at second, but he doesn't even try to make a throw, and it would be first and second, nobody out. Next batter is Arias. He pops one up into shallow center. No trouble there. That would be the first out. Then it was Jorge Polanco. He hits a ground ball to third. He goes to second with it, barely gets Buxton. Thought he might have had a chance had he just stepped on third and gone to first, but instead it's first and third, 2 away. But Nelson Cruz down on strikes for the second time in this one, and Boyd is fired up as he gets through the top half of the third. Still 1-0 Tigers. Harold Castro, the singles machine, takes one into right to start things off for the Tigers. Then it was Miguel Cabrera, gets a hanging curveball, hits it deep to left center. This ball would go off of the wall, actually off the glove, but confusion on the bases. Cabrera's going to second. Castro is just kind of hung out to dry because he didn't know whether to keep going to third or go back. Ultimately, it's a long single, technically, for Cabrera. And now there's a runner on first with 1 out. Next batter is Lawrence Walker. Takes a high fastball down the line and right, all the way to the corner. That's going to be an easy double for him, but Cabrera is going to have to hold at third. So they would have scored a run there, making it 2-0. Instead, it's second and third, one away. Vizcaíno pitched a hit, but he lines out as Gonzalez over to grab that one for the second out. And then with 2 away, Sheldon Uweze, last chance for the Tigers in the third, hits a chopper to short. Gonzalez able to handle that. And Maeda escapes danger in the third. Still 1-0 Tigers, on to the fourth. Mitch Garver gets a pitch to hit. Puts one deep down the left field line. Looked like that thing would stay fair, but it does hook foul, just a long strike. And then later in the at-bat, he hits the ball to center field, routine for Cameron Maben, and that would be the first out of the inning. Next batter is Max Kepler. He takes a 3-1 fastball in off the plate for ball 4. 2 batters later, with a runner on second now and 2 outs, Donaldson with a routine grounder to third, easily handled for the third out, and Boyd has pitched 4 scoreless innings. Austin Romine with 1 out here in the fourth hits the ball to left center. Looks like confusion between the outfielders as that ball could have been caught. Buxton lets it go over his glove all the way to the wall for a stand-up double, and Maeda, after just 3 1/3 and no earned runs to his record at this point, mind you, is out of the ball game. Pitch count was getting up there. He is responsible for the runner on second, but the Twins are going to turn to Homer Bailey. 49 innings of work already this year, and you remember earlier in the season he pitched really well against these Tigers. First batter he faces is Nico Goodrum. He pops one up, and Garver able to handle that one with no trouble. Maben gets a pitch to hit here, laces it up the middle. Buxton fields it on the first hop. Throw to the plate is cut, then relayed to home, and they get Romine in time for the third out. That would keep it 1-0, and that closes the book on Kenta Maeda. 3 1/3, no earned runs is not a line score you really see from a pitcher that is pulled from the ball game and without any kind of health issues. So, in any case, they're going to have to get some work from the bullpen, but we'll see how things fare for the Twins from here. Later in the fifth, it's 2 down here for Polanco. He's got a runner on second. He hits the ball back up the middle, so it looks like Maben's going to have a try to throw somebody out from center. He has a noodle arm, and that one is not going to be in time, and it's 1-1. So tie ball game then. Nelson Cruz down on strikes again. Man, he is struggling at the plate. But the Twins do tie this thing at 1 as we go to the bottom of the fifth. With 1 away, it's Miguel Cabrera. Hits the ball deep to left field. This one would run out of steam, however, caught for the second out. And the Tigers go scoreless in their half of the fifth. On to the sixth. Matthew Boyd still pitching well. He gets Garver swinging at a slider down and in, looking silly on that one. Then with 2 away, it's Eddie Rosario, routine grounder to second. And it is going to be 1-1 as we head to the bottom of the sixth. Sheldon Uweze gets a slider down the middle. It was down, but he went down and got it. Hits it hard. Line drive, home run. That ball carried just enough over the wall for his first major league home run. Exit velocity pushing 107 miles an hour. That ball didn't get real high, but he definitely squared up on that one. And the Tigers are back out in front 2-1 here at Comerica Park. That's all they would get in the sixth as we will head to the top of the seventh. Matthew Boyd still out there. First batter is Josh Donaldson. He serves one up to him. That ball's hit hard. May have been able to cut it off, but Donaldson going to make the turn, head for second, and he would be in with a stand-up double. Pitching coach out there to talk to Boyd. I think he's making an argument that Moody Blues is the most underrated rock band in the history of rock and roll. Changed my mind. Next batter was Marwin Gonzalez. He hits a ball through the right side, and it would make it first and third. Still nobody out, and that would end the day for Matthew Boyd. He goes 6 innings. He gave up 8 hits, struck out 5, walked 1. He is responsible for the runners, but at this point, just 1 earned run to his credit. Tim Meza on in relief. He has struggled a little bit of late, so we'll look to see if he can get things back together with the outing here. Wouldn't take long to get an answer to that question. First pitch is up the middle. 1 run would score, and we are tied, so Matthew Boyd can no longer get the win. Could, in fact, pick up a loss. Next batter hits one deep to right center field. May have been able to track that one down, but the runner would advance to third, and it would be first and third now. Still just 1 out in the inning. Next batter, they try a squeeze. Confusion here. I don't think Romine saw the runner coming from third. He throws to second. It is a double steal. Buxton into second with a stolen base and a steal of home to give the Twins the lead. It is 3-2, and Joe Jimenez would come on. He has had a rough go of it this year as well, but he would get out of the inning with a strikeout there on a slider down and away. Nelson Cruz is having a day to forget. On to the 7th, and with one away, Cameron Maben over the second baseman's head into right field for a one-out single. The Tigers trying to answer here in their half of the 7th. Next batter was Harold Castro. He lines out to short. Nice play on the backhanded slide there from Marwin Gonzalez with 2 down. It is Miguel Cabrera hits a ball to right center field, but this one is not going to get down, and that ends the threat in the 7th. On to the 8th, and Joe Jimenez still out there, but the first batter he faces is Mitch Garver, who takes one just over the right field wall. Wasn't a bad pitch from Jimenez, but that is the 10th of the year for Garver, a solo shot. The struggles continue for Joe Jimenez as the Twins are back to a 2-run lead. It is 4-2. Later in the inning, he gets Donaldson swinging, so Jimenez able to settle down and keep the Tigers within striking distance on this one. But Mitch Garver, again, the big solo home run to give the Twins some insurance as we go to the bottom of the 8th. Trevor May on in relief for the Twins. He has pitched very well this year, only in 10 appearances, but he has done a good job over that stretch. But the first batter he faces is Lawrence Walker. He draws a walk and a runner on with nobody out. Vizcaíno goes down on a nice changeup down out of the zone there for the first out. Sheldon Weze up next, hits a chopper down the first base line. May over to handle it, gets the out at first, and that's 2 away. On to pinch hit would be Victor Reyes. He has struggled lately, but we'll see if he can get it done here in a big situation for the Tigers. He hits a ball well to right field, but that is going to hang up and be a can of corn to end the threat in the 8th. Alex Wilson on in relief. He has been phenomenal for the Tigers. Look at that ERA, .42 through 21 and a third innings of work, and he would get it done here. Routine grounder to short. Arias is done, and we will go to the bottom of the 9th, still 4-2. Taylor Rogers on in relief. He's been pretty good for the Twins. The ERA 1.64, 11 saves in 12 opportunities. But he would start the inning off with a walk. Austin Romine on. Full count now for Nico Goodrum. He hits a ball through the hole, and the Tigers have the tying run on with nobody out here in the 9th. Cameron Maben gets a pitch to hit, but lines out. Donaldson able to glove that one for the first out, and a big one there as that ball was hit hard and could have really had the Twins in trouble. C.J. Cron would come in to pinch hit. He's got some pop against lefties, so the Tigers thinking maybe a walk-off here if he can just connect with one. But it was not to be, as he would hit a one-hop to third, tags the runner, throws to second, and that would do it. The Twins take this one 4-2. A tough loss for the Tigers. Matthew Boyd pitched pretty well. The Tigers did a good job offensively early in the game of just driving up the pitch count of Maeda. But good work from the bullpen for the Twins, and the Tigers unable to get it done here. Homer Bailey picks up the win, going 3 2/3 with 3 hits, no walks, no strikeouts, only gave up the 1 earned run. Taylor Rogers gets player of the game honors with the save, although, 1 hit and a walk for a save, not really that impressive, but you got to give it to somebody, I suppose, and he gets the honors today. 10 hits, 3 walks, and 5 strikeouts as a team for the Tigers, as they only notch 2 runs in this one. Doubles for Romine and Walker. You saw Nweze hit his first homer of his career. Meza gets a blown save in 2/3 of work. The Tigers, 10 hits, 1 walk, 7 strikeouts combined. That's going to do it for this one. A final look at the line score here. 10 hits for both teams, but the Tigers drop this one as they fall 1 game below 500 for the season. In other news, Casey Mize has been dealing in Double-A, so we are going to make the move to call him up to Triple-A. Sandy Baez would be called up from, or actually sent down from Triple-A to take that spot in the rotation, and then Mize going to go into the starting rotation at Triple-A. So news there, as he has done well, and he's 1 step closer to the big show. We go back out to Comerica Park as the Tigers, sitting now at 24-27, would take on the Tampa Bay Rays. Tigers desperately trying to stay in the playoff picture, although this season slowly starting to get away from them. The offense has been pretty paltry of late, and it has shown on the win-loss column. Jordan Balazovic going to try and get him out of the rut, though, as he has pitched very well for the Tigers. 5-2 over 10 starts, the ERA of 2.6, 62 1/3 innings of work, and the WHIP below 1.2 for the year. But things not off to the good start as Balazovic throws a 3-2 fastball that looked like a strike. Ron Gardenhire already in the ear of the home plate umpire, and it would be a leadoff base runner for the Rays. Next batter is Jose Martinez. He lines out to right, 1 away. Then it was Austin Meadows. He hits a ball deep down the right field line, but it hooks foul. And then later in the at-bat, he just flares one into center, not hit very well, and that would be the second out. Then it's Brandon Lowe. He chases a changeup down out of the zone, and Balazovic recovers from the leadoff walk to end the threat in the first. Blake Snell going to the hill for the Rays. He's had a little bit of a rough year. The ERA at 4.02, the whip not too bad at 1.26 over 62 innings, so he's going to look to get a solid start here for the Rays. Starting things off, he jams Nico Goodrum, twists him up on a slider in off the plate. 1 away, first strikeout in the first at bat of the ball game. Then a 3-0 pitch also looked like a strike, but Reyes is on. And next batter would be Miguel Cabrera. He hits a ball hard through the right side, and it's first and second, 1 away. And then 2 batters later, Jonathan Scope had a hanging curveball there. Should have handled that one, but it is a harmless pop-up in foul territory to end the threat in the bottom of the first. On to the second. First batter is Ji-Man Choi. He chases a changeup down out of the zone for strike 3. And then the next batter was Willy Adames. He pokes one through the right side for a single. 1 out, and the Rays are in business. And it was Yandy Diaz hits a ground ball to first. They would go 3-6-3, and the Tigers get 2 for the price of 1. That would do it for the Rays in the second. 1 out now in the first, and Elvis Vizcaino swings through a changeup for the second out. Then a 3-0 count for Jake Rogers. Gets a pitch he likes, hits it deep to center field, unfortunately to the deepest part of this ballpark. Ball goes about 405 feet, caught harmlessly just shy of the track, and that would do it for the Tigers in the second. On to the top of the third. First batter, Mike Zunino. Not a bad pitch here from Jordan Balazovic, but he takes it through the right side, and the Rays have a runner on with nobody out. 2 batters later, they put the runner in motion, hit and run, but he swings through it. Zunino is toast at second as he doesn't run well, and now 2 down here in the inning. Couple batters later with a runner on first, a fly ball flared into right field. Bonifacio in to get that one. That would do it. You look at the numbers here for the Tigers, just atrocious. Worst in the league in runs per game. On base percentage, they're 27th, and then worst again in slugging and home runs. So the offense just not getting it done for this team. And you remember earlier this year we kind of said, really thought that the pitching would be the weakness of this team this season, but that has not been the case, as you can see there. And in the bottom of the third, the wheels come off for Blake Snell. A double from Maben, single for Nico Goodrum, and then a fly ball from Reyes deep enough to score the run. It's 1-0 now, 1 away, runner on first. Miguel Cabrera draws a walk. C.J. Cron would draw a walk. And then it's Jonathan Scope. He gets a hanging curveball, hits this ball deep to left center field. It's going to go off the wall. Extra bases for him. We'll see if Cron's able to come around and score, but it looks like he is, and that is now making it 4-0 Tigers, and they weren't done yet. Next batter, Lawrence Walker hits a ball to about the same part of the ballpark, but this one is actually going to hang up and get out of here. That would be the 5th of the year for Lawrence Walker. The rookie hits that 433 feet. That would make it 6-0 Detroit, and the Tigers putting up some runs after we just got done talking about how pathetic this offense has been. So maybe a sign that they're going to get some things going here, but that would do it for Blake Snell. His rough year continues as he goes just 2 1/3 in this one and gives up 6 earned runs on the day. Rays are going to be in trouble here, but we'll see if they could battle back into this one. Brendan McKay on in relief. First batter he faces is Elvis Vizcaino, and he goes shopping at the gap. That would be extra bases. Still just 1 out here in the bottom of the third. Then it was Jake Rogers. Hits a ball hard, but right at the shortstop. He bobbles it, but recovers to get the second out at first, and then Cameron Maben would chop one to third. Routine play there, and it would be 6-0 Tigers after 3 innings of play. A 6-run outburst there, and then Jordan Balazovic going back to work, but he starts off the next inning with a walk to Austin Meadows. Not what you want to do after your team puts up 6 runs, and it would get worse. Another ball through the hole here. It is now first and second. Nobody out. Ji-Man Choi up the middle. That ball was hit hard. Not a very good pitch, but it hangs up for Reyes to make the catch, and that would be the first out. Then, ball down the right field line, past the diving C.J. Cron all the way to the corner. That would score the runner all the way from first. and it's 6-1. Runners on second and third, just 1 out in the inning. Pitching coach out for a visit. He says, guys, I have had the yellow submarine stuck in my head all day long. I have no idea how to get it out of there. The distraction must have worked because Jordan Balazovic comes back dealing. He gets Yandy Diaz swinging for the second out. Then it's Mike Zunino. He's down on strikes, and the threat is over. It is 6-1 as we head to the bottom of the fourth. Miguel Cabrera swinging through a fastball to end the inning there, and Brandon McKay a scoreless bottom half of the fourth. Balazovic back out there for the fifth. He gets a swing and strike out there. His 6th K of the ball game as you get a look at his ERA through or entering play. Good for 6th in the American League at just 2.6. So nice showing so far this year from the rookie. Later in the inning with a runner on first, he gets a ground ball to second, 4-6-3, and it's 2 for the price of 1 for the Tigers. We go on to the bottom of the fifth. 2 down, and it's Lawrence Walker. He swings through one there, and it's a scoreless fifth. We go to the top of the sixth. Austin Meadows leading off the inning. Swings and misses a changeup. That would be the 7th strikeout for Jordan Balazovic for those of you keeping track at home. But next up is Brandon Lowe on a 2-0 pitch. He lifts one high to left field. Didn't look like it was going to get out of here, but that ball just kept on going and going. It is into the bullpen for a solo shot, his 7th of the year. Balazovic not happy with himself, but it is 6-2 Tigers. He would go back to work, gets a routine grounder there from Choi for the second out. Then the next batter is Willy Adames. He is just terrorizing the Tigers pitching today. He gets another hit up the middle there. He was a member of the Tigers organization a few years back, so maybe exacting a little bit of revenge for them letting him go. Then it was Yandy Diaz down the line into the corner. That's going to be good for extra bases. Adames would have to hold at third, but that's going to do it for Jordan Balazovic as Gardenhire out to get him. He goes 5 2/3, 9 hits, 2 walks, struck out 7, 2 earned runs to his credit thus far, but he is responsible for the runners that are on base. The Tigers are going to return to Gregory Soto here and try and just get some innings out of him with a 4-run lead. But it is quickly going to be a 2-run lead, as that's a double down the right field line. Both runners would score, and it is now 6-4 Tigers. Close the book on Balazovic with 4 earned runs on the day. Soto would settle down, though, and get out of the 6th, keeping the score at 6-4, and the Tigers in the bottom half of the 6th going to try and answer. Jake Rogers with 1 out takes one down the left field line. That's going to go all the way to the wall for a stand-up double. And then it was Cameron Maben with 1 out. Gets a ball down, but he hits that hard. Kiermaier didn't necessarily take the best route on that one. It's over his head. It's going to be an easy triple for Cameron Maben as he runs pretty well. And it is now 7-4 as the Tigers get one of those runs back right away. Then Nico Goodrum hits a chopper to short. They get 2 runs back, and it's now 8-4, 2 down here in the 6th. We go on to the 7th. Gregory Soto staying out there. He gets a strikeout there. 98 miles an hour up and in. That's tough to catch up with. Brandon Lowe, he's having trouble as he swings through one, and that's the first out in the 8th. Then it was Ji-Man Choi, swings through a slider as well. 2 down. Gregory Soto looking solid here in the 8th. And Willy Adames chases a changeup, and that's it for the Rays in the 8th. Gregory Soto, strong work out of the bullpen for the Tigers. Lawrence Walker in the bottom of the 8th. He rips one into left field. That's over the wall for his 2nd home run of the game, 400 feet, his 6th of the year. The Tigers have made it 9-4, but they weren't done yet with a runner on and 2 away, already 10-4. Victor Reyes takes one down the left field line. That one is gone. It is 12-4 as Reyes gets his 2nd of the year. That would be your final. The Tigers with a nice performance here offensively, hopefully getting the bats going permanently. They collect their 25th win of the season, moving to 25-27 on the year. Jordan Balazovic gets the victory. He pitched fairly well. The 4 earned runs, maybe a little bit deceiving. He did give up 9 hits, but not a lot of hard contact, honestly. Just kind of balls finding holes all day long. Blake Snell picks up the loss. He did not pitch well. Gregory Soto, good job in relief. Quick look here, 11 hits, 2 walks, 13 strikeouts for the Rays, 13 hits, 3 walks, and 5 strikeouts for the Tigers. They picked up homers from Reyes and Walker. Again, a look at the pitching line there. Soto did very well. In other news, the Yankees made a ridiculous trade offer to the Tigers. Yet another offer for Miguel Cabrera that we unfortunately are going to pass on just based out of realism. They wanted to give us Clint Frazier straight up for Miguel Cabrera. It just didn't make sense for either team, so we passed on that one. We're going to take a look at the statistics through this point in the year. We are through May. Miguel Cabrera still swinging a hot bat, hitting .332 with an OPS of .819. That's very solid, and maybe a reason why we're getting some trade offers for him. Nico Goodrum still putting up pretty solid numbers, despite the fact that he really just should not hit right-handed pitching very well, so happy with what we're getting from him. Bonifacio only hitting .225, but everything else looks pretty solid there, as he's at a .730 OPS. Then things kind of start to slide a little bit. Lawrence Walker had a great day there, but he's at just .715 on the year, but he's a rookie, so we'll take it. Scope just continues to struggle to get that average and on-base percentage up. Maben has started to swing the bat pretty well. He's not doing it with a lot of pop, but he's taken some innings away from Victor Reyes. Sheldon Nweze, not the greatest, but again, he's still young. Harold Castro, the singles machine. The number's not bad. Would like to see some more walks out of him and maybe some balls in the gap to get that slugging up as well. Elvis Vizcaíno has really struggled after getting off to a pretty good start earlier in the year. CJ Cron continues to just not get it done, and he's only playing against lefties, which he's supposed to hit pretty well, so not sure what the issue is. Reyes, like I said earlier, is really starting to struggle. Romine and Rogers still not doing very well, platooning at catcher, and then Candelario just continues to suck for this franchise. And a look at the pitching numbers of Arodys Vizcaíno has been outstanding for the Tigers as the closer. I like what we're seeing from him with the whip down below 1. Alex Wilson, an outstanding year so far. His ERA at .65 and the whip at 1.05 is pretty darn solid. Jordan Balazovic, 7-2 now on the year with the ERA of 2.57. Early candidate for Rookie of the Year and definitely performing above expectations. Tim Meza has started to get it back together. It's got the whip at 1.15. That's pretty solid. Gregory Soto has actually pitched surprisingly well for this team. Joe Jimenez, the whip's not bad, but the ERA's got to come down. Boyd, about as advertised. Michael Fulmer has been so off and on this year that I just don't know what we'll get from him in terms of trade bait. Daniel Norris has been off and on all year as well. Xiaoqing Chang struggled a little bit. He's had a couple of good outings, but all in all, not real happy with what he's done. And then we know that Garcia is terrible, but Spencer Turnbull has definitely been a disappointment. He just cannot get guys out this year. 0-6 and a whip of 1.72 at this point in the year. We might have to make a move there. American League awards, look here, Vizcaíno in the running for reliever of the year, Lawrence Walker and Jordan Balazovic in the hunt for rookie of the year, Walker in contention for a gold glove, but don't expect that to keep up as he's just not very good defensively, honestly, and then Victor Reyes in the mix in center field. Take a quick look at some guys in the minors. Isaac Paredes has actually performed very well and had some serious ratings boosts, so look out for him in the majors in the next few years. Les Delusky has done pretty well. Daz Cameron, the OPS up at 842, and then Dawel Lugo is the big disappointment as he is last on the team in on-base percentage and OPS respectively. At AAA, Casey Mize, the only noteworthy guy. I called him up a few weeks ago, and he has not done well so far, but early in his stint with the AAA organization. At AA, Brian Scales has done well. Nobody else there really noteworthy, but Riley Green not having a great season, but the ratings are coming along slowly, and he's still young, so we'll keep an eye on him. And for pitchers at AA, Erie, it's Dominic Billingsley having a really good year in terms of whip. The ERA is not all that great, but his rating's also coming along nicely. Skubal has started to pitch well, so look out for him. And then Matt Manning's doing okay. The Tigers sitting at 27-32 through 59 games. They are 13.5 games back in the division, so they are probably out of it at this point, to be honest. 7 games back in the wild card as well. So they are starting to look for some trade opportunities. And that's going to do it for this episode. I have been your host, longtime listener. Drop a like, subscribe, comment below. We take a look at what the Tigers were able to get done in the draft in the next episode, so be sure not to miss that one. Appreciate you watching, and we will see you all next time.